What is up, DMV basketball fans? Welcome into another Believe in DMV Hoops. I'm Matt Moderno. I'm joined here today by Xavier Lipscomb of Mount St. Mary's. Xavier, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. Excited to chat. I hope you take this as the compliment it's intended to be. But if I was going to put out like an all DMV area team, like glue guy, do everything, dirty work guy for a team, you would definitely be the starting point guard on that group because I don't know, man, you're just not afraid to mix it up and you make all the little plays and it's really fun to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just trying to win games.
I love it. Yeah, I'm sure your teammates appreciate that, and so your coaches do as well. So that's awesome. Before we get too far into this, we're brought to you by Stateside Vodka and their Surfside hard iced teas and hard lemonades, and also BetOnline. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion with the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA, NHL, UFC, you name it. BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for all your betting needs this year. From touchdowns to three-pointers to hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. All right, so we obviously don't know each other super well. We've done two of these now, the media day one here as well. But everybody I know who knows you has talked, about what a nice guy you are. But on the court, man, you just seem to turn it on to like junkyard dog mode. So is that just like a switch you're able to flip, or how do you do that?
Really, I just try to go out there, play with energy and effort. Whatever my team needs me to do to win games. If that requires me diving on the floor, guarding the best player, I'm all for it.
I love that. Everybody needs that on their team, and I'm sure that makes your teammates' lives a lot easier, like we were saying in the beginning here too. Just to be out on the court, it's cool to see you out there playing. You dealt with some injuries last year. I know coming into college, you had some that you went through too. Can you maybe just update listeners a little bit on what that road has been like to get to this point, just so they could kind of help, also appreciate, you being at this point here?
Mm-hmm. It's for sure been a long journey, health-wise. I haven't had, a consistent career being healthy, but, I have to shout out our trainer, Megan. She's with me every day, getting me right, trying to get me flexible and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But really just her work and her being consistent, being on me, getting me into the right space where I can, perform to my best ability.
Yeah, that's the unsung heroes of a basketball program, is the people that are keeping you guys healthy and out on the court. So shout out to her. That's cool to hear. Mentioned that you missed a good portion of last year because of that, limited to only 2 games. But, this year you're balling out, like I said, doing a little bit of everything, 7.5 points, 3 rebounds, 4.5 assists, shooting 35% from 3, playing elite defense. For anybody who hasn't seen your game, how would you kind of describe how you play?
I would describe myself as a playmaking guard, looking to get everybody involved. I feel that once everybody's getting going, my teammates are shooting the ball well, or I'm getting them easy baskets, that ultimately it becomes a hard team to guard. Yep. You can stop one player, but stopping 5 to 7 people in a given night is very hard to do. Mm-hmm. And then for the other pieces, just a junkyard dog doing anything it takes to win, guarding, rebounding, things of those natures.
I think that's a great way to look at it too. When there are like multiple guys a team has to guard, it also makes it easier for you as an individual to score. And I think you really pick your spots well. I'm trying to remember the end of which game it was, but there was one in the last week and a half here where like you were just making play after play down the stretch. Maybe it was the Marist game. Does that sound right? You probably remember better than I do, but you had a couple like really tough late buckets to seal the win.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the Niagara game.
Yeah, you're right. That sounds right.
But Coach Lind trusted me with the ball in my hands, really just told me go out there and make a couple plays, try to seal the deal at the end.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that you can do that is super nice to have that versatility. But then also 13 assists here in a, essentially a nail biting game over Sacred Heart. So that was cool to be able to see kind of go either way, set guys up or score when you need to. But the defense is the thing that always kind of stands out most to me watching you play. You're a big physical dude, look like a linebacker out there. And I got to imagine these other guys seeing you pick them up full court, late in a game. You can kind of tell sometimes watching where like a dude really doesn't want to bring the ball up, against certain guys. When you feel that from another player, is that like a point of pride? Like, hey, this guy did not want to like bring it up against me.
We pride our team on being a defensive stopper, getting out there, trapping, being really physical, getting stops on the defensive end. So, it feels good, to apply pressure to these other guards.
Is there anybody you watch or kind of take little pieces of to, shape your game?
Oh, that's a great question. My third favorite player is Davion Mitchell.
That's a good one.
He plays for the Raptors now. I really like how he moves his feet on defenses and navigates ball screen. So that's a person I like to watch.
All right. You said third favorite. So who are the top two guys?
LeBron, of course, number one.
Okay.
And then number two has to be Damian Lillard.
That's another good one too. So you get a little bit of everything. Dame's got all the offense. Davion's got the elite perimeter defense. And then, LeBron is LeBron. That's another thing. You're like I said, you're doing a little bit of everything. And obviously, watching LeBron, you pick up little ways to do that kind of stuff too. So that's cool. I mentioned the looking like a linebacker thing out there. Did you ever play any football growing up?
I did, but I actually stopped when I was like 7.
Okay.
I got hurt, just sprained my ankle, and I was like, Dad, I'm done with this. I'm gonna just be a hooper.
Yep. Basketball is a little safer in the long run, so I don't blame you for that. You played for a defensive-minded coach previously in Dan Engelstad, friend of the program here, and now for Coach Lind, who's got you guys playing really good defense. And I think you guys are rolling on that end of the court here. Was that part of the appeal for coming back and playing for this new coaching staff? Is that they were going to also emphasize the kind of stuff that you do well already?
What really stuck out to me when Coach Lind first got the job is he wanted to turn up the defensive intensity and, like I said, press more, be up in guys' faces and, enforce our will into the opposing teams. And I felt that resonated with me as a player. I played for Coach Jones at St. Stephen's, and that's what we did majority of the time in high school. So it's something I was comfortable with and something I like to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's more fun for you when you're playing a style that you're comfortable with too, and basketball should be fun. So that's cool to hear. You guys have a lot of athletes. I think that stands out, when you watch your guys play compared to some of the other teams in the league. Like, obviously a lot of good skilled teams, but you guys are long at every position and just have dudes. I got to imagine like practices are pretty darn exhausting every day too. Just matching up with guys at every position. You're running into length and stuff. So I don't know, how do you guys keep from beating each other up too much in practice?
Well, I can't say we don't because we compete every day.
There you go.
Majority of the time, we start off practice, little concepts and stuff like that. But after that, we really just try to work on our defensive intensity and our sets. So we're constantly playing against each other.
Yeah, that's cool. And hey, if you can go against those guys, you nothing is surprising you by the time you get to the actual games, because that's the same, same positional length and size that you're going to play against. And especially in some of these, non-conference Power 5 games, like the Miami game, your team is as athletic as an ACC team there. Like that, I'm sure that wasn't like a shock to get out there and do that. Unfortunately, we're recording this coming off a loss here, a tough loss on the road to Rider. Winning on the road in conference, I think it's just a hard thing to do at every level. So it's bound to happen throughout the year. I guess, how did it feel out there? What happened in that one, I guess, from your perspective?
It was really just, I feel like our turnovers, we had a lot of those. But I feel like we're going to, recoup as a team, short turnaround here because we got a game tomorrow against Quinnipiac. So we can't dwell on it too long. But, we watched the film today, took some lessons from that. We're going to improve upon those things and, try to implement it going forward.
Was that something they were doing that was just different, or a new wrinkle, or just one of those nights sometimes where the ball gets away from you a little bit?
I think it was a mixture of everything, Rider is a really good team, and no conference win is going to be easy.
For sure.
So, we just had it wasn't our night.
Yep. Totally understandable. You guys are still 4-2 in conference, which is a great start to things. And I think it's going to be one of those conferences where there's, no one's going undefeated throughout this league. Like, guys are going to beat up on each other throughout the year. I guess, how are you guys feeling about where you stand, in respect to things and how you've been so far in conference play?
Honestly, we try not to look at the standings, Try to treat every game with care and intensity, no game is easy. You got to respect every opponent,
Yep.
come out and give your best shot. So we just try to look forward to the next game and, get a win.
One game at a time, and then you just kind of see where you are at the end of the season, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I like that. Your team overall, 104th in the country in defensive rating, but that's also accounting for some really tough teams that you guys played in the non-conference here too. Alex said, I think you guys are as good a defensive team as I've seen in the league. I guess is that where you guys hang your hat? And is there a way to get the offense to kind of catch up to the defense? At least, I'm not saying you guys won't still be a defensive minded team, but how do you kind of help bring those two things together a little bit more?
Coach tries to tell us, let our defense fuel our offense, try to get out, be disruptive, get steals to lead to easier baskets, get the rim loosened a little bit, and it makes the other team worry about, getting back in transition. Maybe they don't take away the rim run and we can hit ahead, get an easy layup, or, they take the rim run away and we can spray it open and get a three, stuff like that.
I got to think this is also a fun group to play with as a point guard in transition because you got finishers all around you. I guess, what's that like trying to figure out who's the right guy to distribute to on any particular fast break?
Really just pick your poison. Anybody who's open, that's who I'm giving it to. I really just try to tell guys, get out, run. I'm going to get you the ball. That's what I like to do and facilitate. So just run and I'm going to find you.
I'm not a particularly good passer on the basketball court myself, but sometimes there's nothing more satisfying than like a really nice pass. And that's like more rewarding sometimes than actually scoring yourself. So I think for you, you're getting plenty of those run outs and stuff like that with guys. So I got to imagine there's a couple of really nice moments throughout the game there.
Absolutely.
For you guys to be as successful as you want to be, what does this team still need to do? Like what maybe can go another level here to get you guys to, the ultimate goal at the end of the season?
Mm-hmm. Coach Lins always tells us not to be complacent. There's always room to get better every day. He tells us to win every day, get better offensively and defensively, come together as a team, because we're going to go through ups and downs. It's a long season. We play 31 games guaranteed. But if you consistently get better every day and you stack days, you'll be able to, win games.
I think that's great advice. It sounds like Coach knows what he's doing over there. Not surprising to hear. So that's good. You guys have a good amount of new faces. I think just that's kind of how college basketball is now. It seems like it takes a while for teams to gel. Do you feel like you guys are there yet, or there's like another level of cohesion that you guys can keep building to over the course of the rest of the season?
I think we're always striving, be better collectively as a group, move the ball, share the ball, because, we're very talented as a team. That's one of our strengths. Like you can't take away one person. Yep. Sometimes we fall into the pitfalls of trying to make our own play or whatnot, but all in all, everybody cares for each other and everybody wants everybody else to be successful. So I feel like we can get to another level of cohesionness and get better at that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, sometimes it just takes time too. Like, right, the more reps you guys have and playing these conference battles, I think kind of helps ratchet those things up. Mentioned kind of some new faces there. What are the vibes like with this team? Like how's everybody getting along? How are you guys clicking off the court and stuff like that too?
Everything's going well. We often hang out in each other's rooms. If there's a good game on NBA or college, everybody comes and watch on the big TV.
That's cool.
We spend a lot of time together on and off the court. The vibes are great.
No, that's awesome. I always kind of talk about this with other guys that former players and stuff like that too. And it's like, you don't have to all be best friends to be a successful team. It also doesn't hurt if you like the people that you're spending all this time with.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's good to hear. I always try to tell people that the Mount is at least DMV adjacent, right? Like it's close enough to get up there for games. You're from the DC area. So I don't know, help me make the sales pitch here that's an easy enough drive for people to get up there and catch some games.
Honestly, I do it almost every weekend in the off season. Gotcha. It's only an hour and 15 minutes from DC, so it's not that far if you're in the DMV. But if you really want to play for a great coach in a great league, the Mount is where you need to be. We're going to play some great basketball, get up and down, share the ball. It's just a great place to be.
That's awesome. Arena's looking nice too. Fun coach to play for. And we talked about this a little bit during the media day. The jersey's looking fresh this year too. Like loving the light blue is always good, but the black ones, are those still a team favorite? Because they look pretty sharp every time.
Yeah, the black is the favorite by far, but we haven't been wearing them recently. I'm trying to get them out there again, but they should be coming back out soon.
Are guys superstitious about it? Like if you take an L in the black jerseys, do you have to cool them off for a while, or how does that work?
I think it's just scheduling wise. We
Gotcha.
coordinate with the other teams and whatnot, what jerseys we're going to wear. So I think we wear each jersey equally, but
cool.
We'll eventually get there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're looking forward to that because I could just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's got that little extra edge to it. Not trying to fast forward through your basketball playing career here. I hope you're playing for a long time after this, but eventually, the ball stops bouncing for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the plan post basketball? I think I've heard you say you were looking into a cybersecurity background at one point, but what's the major? What are you thinking after basketball?
So in my undergrad, I graduated with a cybersecurity degree and also an accounting degree.
Nice.
So if I don't continue to play basketball and or coach basketball, because I would love to be around the game, I would probably venture into the cybersecurity, probably working for the government or some private sector stuff, something like that.
I think I remember an interview a while back where you mentioned that your mom worked for like Northrop Grumman, and she gets the appeal of working for a government contractor and stuff like that. As a government employee myself, I can strongly recommend that to you too. So I think it seems like a good road, and cybersecurity, that's an industry that's not going anywhere. So I think that's it's a smart idea too.
Thank you.
But hey, like I said, point guards, man, they always make good coaches too. So Coach Lind, he's looking for a grad assistant for next year here too. We got a good candidate for him. That's awesome. Last couple things I would just want to close out for you here, a little lighter stuff. Any social media accounts that people can follow?
You can find me on Instagram at Xavier._45 and also on Twitter at Tricky_X45.
Gotcha. Awesome. This one is already streaming on Twitter for people with your handle in there, so they'll see that too. Game tomorrow at 4 p.m. at home against Quinnipiac, as you mentioned. Want to pack this place with fans, so any message to the fans here that maybe haven't gotten their tickets yet?
It's going to be a great game, bounce back game for us. We're on the hunt for some wins, but it's going to be a great atmosphere. I know the Mount Faithful are going to come out and support, and hopefully, we can get you out of there. I don't know if there's any football games on tomorrow, but
good point.
Hopefully we can get you out of there before, the games come on, but come on down and support us.
Yeah, a little matinee basketball before the football. That's a good way to start a weekend here too, I think. Awesome. Xavier, thank you for doing this, man. Like I said, it's really been fun to watch. I appreciate the way you play, and it's all the stuff I wish I could do on a basketball court. So I think that makes it even more fun to watch, man. But keep doing what you're doing. Good luck to you guys the rest of the way, and look forward to kind of staying plugged in with you throughout the season here. So have fun tomorrow and good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button for us, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's always appreciated. We're presented by betonline.ag, and we will catch you all next time.